everybody. Welcome back to the Hoa Herald with your host Leo and Louis Sebastian. And we're here and we're doing another podcast. Now, this may be released alongside our X movie podcast, depending how we feel. It might be a week after, but who knows? Who knows? We may do a double feature, double whammy, but who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Not much has happened since we did the last X podcast because we literally did it earlier today.
Just then.
But yeah, not much. Yeah, not much has really gone on. I had Corona. I said that last time.
You had Corona, you little boner.
No. Yeah. Not much is going on. Anything going on with you, Louis?
My tailbone hurts.
Your tailbone hurts.
And it's cold in here.
Fix it.
Okay, well done.
Oh, it's not cold in here anymore. No, I'm kidding. Okay. That was So we're
reviewing.
Damn.
VHS.
I'm sorry if you're listening to this. Yes. Yes. Our movie for the week,
decade
for the
is
pod
VHS.
VHS.
Very hospitable.
Very in hospital sanctions.
Veterans have skills.
Yeah. What? Oh, yes.
They do.
Yes. Veronica
hates Sandy.
That's how it is.
Very horrible show.
Or very horny Samaritans.
That's a lot of it in this movie.
I think that's
very
the movie. Very horny Samaritans. But we'll get to that. But yes, the movie we are reviewing for this is VHS 2012. I looked it up. It is 2012. But before we do that, of course, we have our segment, our horror news segment. This one's a little bit more... Pew, pew, pew. This one's a little bit more in the now. But here we go. So the first little news then is that Casper, you know Casper, the friendly ghost?
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah.
He will return in a live-action horror/adventure series for Peacock. That's cool.
Oh.
Now, here's the thing. The way I read on Bloody Disgusting, it says it's going to be a coming-of-age story with a darker, grittier take like Riverdale. Now, it ain't going to be like Riverdale, but let's make that go sexy. I always thought, damn, what if we made Casper
What
sexy?
are they gonna? So Casper is literally like a little marshmallow guy. So how are they gonna make?
They're not gonna make it sexy like Riverdale, but they're saying they're gonna like modernize it.
Yeah, but
like,
please don't make him just a guy. Please, that's not Casper.
Oh, that is what they're gonna do. They're so gonna do that. They're gonna be like, damn,
Casper,
and there's gonna be like another teenage like love interest is gonna be like, I feel for you, Casper, and they're gonna just like
Peacock, cock block.
No. But yeah, that's coming out, and that's so that's gonna be on Peacock.
Peacocks are good.
Does Australia have Peacock? What do we have an equivalent to that? No, I don't think so. It might just
9 now.
9 now. 9 go.
9 go. 7 now.
SBS on demand. No, so that's coming out, and if you're a fan of Casper and you a fan of Riverdale, check it out.
Check it out. Very niche market.
It's not going to be exactly Riverdale, but who knows? Okay, the second up on this on this news is this one's kind of recent. The trailer came out. And this is something that, probably isn't our expertise of stuff that we watch, but it looks interesting. Netflix has unearthed the John Wayne Gacy tapes. You know who John Wayne Gacy is? He's that killer who, like, dressed up as a clown. You know that one?
I've heard
People Under the Basement.
him.
He's like the big guy.
I don't
with the clown.
know. I don't know much about murderers.
Anyway, he's a notorious serial killer,
Mhm.
and they're going to be a new crime series about him. And it's going to be a 3-episode limited series. It's going to be like the one they did with Ted Bundy.
I know who that is.
On Netflix, they did a
Kind of.
Ted Bundy tapes or whatever like that. And they're just doing, I guess, like an anthology now where it's a
Yeah.
new killer. And they,
Mhm.
do a little documentary on him. And they, hear what he says, back in the day. But yeah, so if you're a fan of true crime.
What's just the one who like chopped people's heads off and had sex with their heads?
What the fuck?
What was his name? Not Ted Bundy.
Okay,
it was
trigger warning. We might need to put a trigger warning. This is going to be a trigger warning, but
that's the only way I can describe it because that's what happens.
It's horrible.
It's
Sorry
like
about
like
that.
the movie. There was a movie like Being Friends with. Because Bryan Cranston apparently got in the car with one of the most notorious serial killers. But
Bryan
I can't remember which one.
Cranston.
Yeah.
Damn.
Which one was it? The guy
I'm
who
not
had
sure the
like
guy's name.
glass, like the
Is he known for like picking
glasses?
Is he known for picking up hitchhikers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
I'm sure there's someone out there. I
Yeah.
thought that was like a Ted Bundy, but who knows?
was it Ted Bundy?
I don't know. I don't think Ted Bundy wore glasses.
I really don't know anything about serial killers.
Anyway, that's that. Next bit of the news. We always talk about James Wan. He's always doing something. He's always producing something. And this one's kind of interesting. He is developing unscripted reality TV projects. Whoa! Reality TV. That's what he's doing now. Reality TV.
What?
The THR reports this week that James Wan's Atomic Monster banner has linked up with Truly Original Ink Masters, which is a another reality TV show, to create a series of unscripted projects with several currently in the works. And it says different genres. I don't know if it's going to be horror related, but he's doing reality TV now.
Well, his business is, not him directly.
James Wan developing unscripted reality TV projects.
Good for him.
Yeah, who needs him back at horror when he's doing Aquaman and reality TV?
Just come back to horror. Do Insidious 5. Insidious 5 is happening.
Is that? Yeah. We talked about that, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because Patrick Wilson's going to come back.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And is James Wan going to be part of that? Is he just producing?
Nope,
he's not part of that at all.
Nope.
Reality TV, James Wan.
Leo Whannell's the only one that's sticking by.
Damn. Well, that's all the news I have for this podcast, and now we have to get to the movie review segment. Now, before we start,
VHS.
a little bit of stuff on VHS. So VHS is a 2012 horror movie starring
a lot of people.
quite a few people. I don't think too many notable names, but we have Glenn McQuaid, Joe Swansburg, Hannah Flerman. Sorry if I'm pronouncing these names wrong. I know you're listening.
I know I am.
Lane Hughes. But most importantly, we'll just talk about some of the directors involved. There's quite a few big name directors. Radio Silence, Ty West. We just reviewed the movie X. So he's kind of part of that. David Bruckner, Joe Swinberg, Adam Wingard. A lot of
names that I've seen a few of those
directors that probably have done some stuff. Not a lot I recognize.
Adam Wingard did Your Next. Radio
Yeah.
Silence did Ready or Not and Scream 5.
And Scream 5. And
then
Ty West did X. But those are the names that I recognize. Some may have done other cool
that
stuff
we may have seen, but I just don't know the
But yeah, I don't know. But those are the That's that.
They did a thing. Okay.
Cool. So yeah, that's that, and I'll just read the kind of blurb for you all, so you get the kind of vibe of what this film is. It's a found footage film, but we'll get to the blurb. So the blurb goes as thus: when a group of petty criminals is hired by a mysterious party to retrieve a rare piece of found footage from a one-down house in the middle of nowhere, they soon realize that the job isn't going to be as easy as they thought. In the living room, a lifeless body holds court before a hub. Okay, this is a weird ass blurb.
Yeah,
the font is like dark blue. So it's so hard to read, but I'll try to read it. So in the living room, a lifeless body holds court before a hub of old television sets, surrounded by stacks upon stacks of VHS tapes. As they search for the right one, they are treated to a seemingly endless number of horrifying videos, each stranger than the last. Cool.
Yep.
So that is kind of the blurb. Will I say it represents the movie? Kind of. I wouldn't say they all come and huddle around to see the VHS tapes, but
they don't really. I don't even know why they watch the movies, but
yeah, they just kind of put them in.
Just put them in.
But yeah, before we go and
dive
specifically into it, and it's gonna be fun. We're gonna rank some of them, and we're gonna just talk about our overall feelings because I don't have too much to say. But the ranking process could be fun. What's your overall thoughts on the film? Should I go first? Would you like me to go first?
You can go first.
For low budget, cool. I don't know. I didn't love it. Some films have cool ideas, and some directing was kind of cool. And there's not so much you can do with found footage. but they did
I didn't like
their
it.
thing. It was okay.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it.
I don't like
I didn't love it.
I didn't love it.
I didn't.
This is the first time I think we reviewed a movie that I generally just didn't really like.
I don't know. I didn't hate it, but I just thought it was kind of like, okay.
Yeah, it felt numb. Like, I was like, is this over yet?
I guess.
I don't know. I didn't enjoy my ride through this movie.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the time this would have been epic.
Yeah, but now it's like,
it's just kind of.
I've seen better.
Okay. It's like.
Like, some of them themselves would just be, if I found them on YouTube, I'd be like, hell yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, if this was like YouTube short films.
That would be hell yeah cool, man. But because it's like a movie that we paid $5 for. You paid $5 for?
I guess could have paid $4 if that person gave me that 20% off deal, which they didn't. That's another story. Damn it! No. Yeah.
So that's my broad overview. Was that I did not.
It made me go. I can't wait for. Well, here's the thing. I want to see VHS 2 because I heard that one's good.
I want to see this be good. I feel like this could be good.
VHS 2 apparently is good.
Yeah. Maybe because I was like. Because like we had to do this podcast, maybe I was like, "Come on, just hurry up and get it over." Yeah. But I don't know. I just didn't love it. But we can be more specific.
Kind of was there, but anyway, yeah, we'll get into specifics now. I don't have so much to say.
I wrote a bit for each.
No,
one.
I know. Okay, so should we say our overall feelings of the entire thing, and then go into specifics about each one?
Yeah, that's no we just did.
No, but what I mean by that is like, what's your positives with the film as a whole?
Oh, okay, yeah,
what's your negatives with the film as a whole?
And then
we'll go into the individual films.
Okay.
So if you haven't done that, I can just do my positives and negatives and see if you agree.
I would just say this: every man is too horny. It's not fine. It's not fun to watch. Don't like many of the characters. Just not fun for me to watch. A bad, uncomfortable feeling. That's what I wrote.
And that's what the positive section was on the negative section.
The negative section.
No, that's
my negative.
Yeah, so I agree. With some of my negatives is that it's got a lot of unlikable characters in all of the films, like all the short films.
Yeah.
Like all the men are like extremely horny.
The worst.
Like there's one film in it where the men are like okay.
Yeah.
But the rest are just like they're either
just
very
horny.
They're all kind of like young 20-year-olds. Another thing I have a negative about is that each of this, like, there isn't too much depth to each story.
Yeah.
Like, they seem to have, like, a cool idea, and I get it. You only have, like, 15 minutes to tell a story, and it's sometimes good to be ambiguous. But, like, there wasn't a lot of depth, and there wasn't a lot of diversity of perspectives. You know what I mean? Like, it's all kind of just a man behind the camcorder who's horny. Like, and they're
Except
all, like...
for the last one.
Yeah, but even then, they're all still kind of, like, 20-year-olds. Like, it all feels like they're all 20-year-olds and kind of young. There's like nothing really diverse. Yeah. And there just isn't.
That's why I'd say like the Paranormal Activity movies, why I like them so much, because each movie has a different perspective. Each movie is different. This one felt like, oh, it's just a man wanting sex. Oh, what's this? A man wanting sex. Oh, what's this? A woman wanting sex.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like, oh.
It was very horny. And again, it might have been that kind of like MTV low budget, you need to get the viewers in, but even then I just, as a film, it just didn't feel diverse because it was just all kind of like young people, young perspectives. There was like maybe one or two films that kind of diverged from the others that was kind of interesting in how they told their story. Which I'm not gonna rank them yet, and they may not be my favorite at all, but like for example, the sixth thing that happened to Emily when she was younger, that was kind of cool how they did the Skype thing.
That one was
interesting. And then I guess Second Honeymoon was kind of interesting how they played around with it, and it wasn't just one perspective. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. Another negative I had was that each of the stories kind of had unsatisfying endings. Like they either just kind of ended, or they seem to have like maybe something was going on, but I didn't understand it. Like I don't know.
Also, the main story, like the main things we were following,
the main
just kind of just ended, and we didn't really understand what was going on. And there was just a guy with no mouth. Yeah. And then there was just this weird dolphin man in the basement.
Yeah. I mean, this really felt like a lot of like they felt like
a whole bunch of ideas.
These films felt like high budget student films.
Yeah.
Like stuff that you do at a film class.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are just okay. the more that I'm thinking about it, some of the stories have interesting, maybe little hidden kind of stuff to them.
Yeah.
But a lot of them,
I would say
don't
it was
know.
just mishandled on how the concepts were done.
Like, I feel
felt
like
it could have been better.
I feel like a lot of the concepts have actually deeper stuff to them, but they just
Yeah.
didn't make it so
Either-
obvious.
yeah.
Like, they need to be more obvious with it.
Either they didn't have enough budget, or it was just they were mishandling it. It wasn't scary.
Mm-hmm. But I gotta give it some positives because we
Sure.
can't be entirely negative. I thought some of the directing was kind of disturbing in some of these.
Yeah,
There's-
some of the camera work was good.
Yeah, like it's very tough to do cool shots when you're doing
Found
a
footage.
VHS found footage
Mm-hmm.
film. And there were some bits like little like faces in the background
Yeah,
or whatever
cool
that
editing.
looked kind of scary and actually kind of worked to make you feel a little bit disturbed. Of course, it wasn't amazing directing, but as I said, with the restraints of like doing a found footage film, they did pretty alright. And yeah, I dug. And it's hard to do for short 50-minute films to make a completely scary, unnerving,
Yeah.
tense experience when you gotta just be quick with it and you gotta get
Yeah.
it done. So with that in mind, I think for a lot of the films, what they've done was pretty alright. And yeah, with
Thank you.
directing wise. Any other positives you got to say before I go to mine?
I would say I did enjoy. Nope, lost it.
Oh, ouch.
I don't know. It
Do
just
you want me to go into more
yeah,
positives?
you go
then?
into
Fine.
more positive.
Each of the oh no, that's my negatives. Some tapes actually felt like genuine dialogue. Like some people felt like,
yes,
this is
that's what I was gonna
genuine.
say. Yeah.
Like some of these felt like, they're genuine people.
Felt like
Not all. Half
like-
of them did feel kind of scripted, but some of them felt like, they're just in the moment,
it
genuine,
felt like them people talking.
talking as usual, talking like normal people, and yeah, it felt like some characters, even when I wouldn't say they have so much great chemistry, felt like they knew each
They're-
other beforehand, whatever. It wasn't just whatever line given to
Yeah,
them.
I felt like there was history before the camera was turned on.
Yeah, like the characters, I know they're all kind of like kind of the same, but they're kind of like horny 20-something-year-olds, but even then they feel like an actual group of people. And for the most part, some of the acting was really good. There
Yeah.
were some people that I felt was a bit stiff, but a lot of the actors,
They
did their best
did,
with the stories
they
they're
did
given.
the job.
Yeah, and
They were given a job and then they finished it at the end of the day.
yeah, there was some interesting kind of, I think, for some writing, like there was some cool little writing moments in it where I felt like some of it was smart, like hidden symbolism. For
Yeah.
example, like in the second honeymoon, I thought I kind of could see some like hidden relationship problems between the two
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Like maybe I thought like
They were going on this.
may have just been me, but I thought maybe he purposely made them have two different beds because
Yeah.
they're not suited together pretty
They
well.
were, but then why would he kind of go like,
I don't-
be all shit?
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
But like also
I'm
I
reaching.
yeah, I could tell. I just didn't like the guy as soon as it started, but I felt like I could like tell that maybe they're doing this trip to reinvigorate their relationship
Yeah.
because they were married, because I saw rings on their fingers.
Yeah. And
So like
and-
maybe they're trying to like get back into it and
Yeah.
trying to explore.
Yeah, and the sixth thing that happened to Emily kind of had some cool, twists that revolved around itself, and it worked like a complete story. Like I felt like that story was complete.
It had a story.
Yeah, but I would say
Yeah.
out of all of them,
It had a definitely complete story. I would agree.
because
with
by the end, like a lot of the other ones kind of felt like, something just happened, whatever.
Yeah.
But this one
That was an
actually
arc.
felt like it had a complete story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the cycle continues. It is a very kind of maybe like a bit of a cliche, ending to
Yeah.
stuff.
I
But,
felt like-
the cycle continues. But you know
I
what?
feel like that one could have been like an idea that could have been taken out of this and done its own thing. Like I feel like
Yeah.
you could do something more with that one.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought some of them had kind of complete stories that kind of worked. That's all my positive negatives about the entire film.
Mm-hmm.
And then do we now want to go to our
specifics.
thoughts on the specifics?
Yeah.
And then at the very end of it, we'll rank them
We'll
in order out of
Mhm.
6 tapes. I guess it's technically like I found out like 5 tapes and one overarching story,
Yeah.
but let's just call them 6
Okay.
tapes. So should we start with the first one? Tape
First one.
56.
I'll just write what I wrote. The first
Yeah.
one wasn't great, just uncomfortable things. Oh wait, say 56 was like the
Tape 56 is the one that we start with. The bunch
Okay.
of hooligans, bunch
Yeah,
of thieves.
I didn't like it because I guess maybe because this isn't my type of horror.
Sure.
Maybe because I'm not a fan of overly sexualized things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into that kind of like just gore horror, intense that kind of thing. I'm really just not my cup of tea. I don't find it scary. I just find it uncomfortable and like just like grow and roll my eyes at, because I don't find it scary or interesting. So the beginning of like these teenagers or 20-year-old trying to make money off these horrible videos, I like wasn't invested. I was kind of like waiting for the actual tapes to happen because I really wasn't interested in these guys. But I did like the actors; they did a good job. I did like the editing was fun. I liked how like they were like free guys doing their own thing, and they felt like they were like kind of a bit crazy as well. Like Gary just destroyed their TV or whatever his name was. Yeah, like I enjoyed it a bit, but it's just not really my thing.
Yeah, I would say in a positive, because I don't have too many positives about it, is that they did feel like maybe like a propaganda of people who they're hooligans and they're not, they felt like they knew their plans or whatever like that, and they're not great people, but they seem like they were accustomed to each other. I guess the directing, I mean, found footage, it was done alright. It started off quite intriguing.
Not much to say about this one because this really wasn't a story.
It's not the main story, but like I would say it was serviceable for, I guess,
for what it was,
for introducing us to the tapes.
Yeah.
But even then, it kind of felt like there's some plot lines that felt like.
Why was the old man dead and then alive and
then who was the person in the basement? Like
there was just a dolphin man in the basement.
Yeah, who was that?
I don't.
Is that the old man? That might have been the old man. Oh yeah, because
he wasn't wearing any clothes though. He was a grey blur.
Well, maybe he was wearing clothes.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't care enough.
Not a lot of it was clear.
Yeah.
But
And why were they looking for a tape? Doesn't matter.
Well, because the employer.
They were paid to look for a tape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of it felt like, I don't know.
Like
it felt like, we just need a circumstance for them to get to a house to find a bunch of tapes.
Yeah.
That was really it.
Yeah.
I guess it wasn't really the story.
Yeah.
But it was kind of the main overarching story of the film, so you would think it would have a little bit more care. Yeah. But anyway, it was okay. It was serviceable. It got them to the house, and it got them to... It
did the thing that was meant to be doing.
That was that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the actual first one, which
is Amateur Night.
Amateur Night, I wrote, wasn't great for me. Just uncomfortable things that men doing at a boring party. That party looked boring.
Sure.
They were at a very boring party. So like positives about that one, I really liked the monster effect.
Yeah.
It was very interesting how her, like at the beginning you could see that her head was kind of split in the middle. That was interesting. I liked how she was kind of like a animalistic, kind of like you wasn't really sure what she was about when this guy was filming with his
she
glasses.
Was scary from the get-go. She was unnerving straight away.
And like I was very curious on what she was, what was happening, what was going to happen. These characters were obviously trying to film a porno, not a porno, but just film.
I guess it's just
ladies.
Sick. They're just sick people who just wanted footage.
But it was kind of weird because they were trying to be discreet about it because they put it in glasses, but then they overly went like, "Whoa, look at this guy," and grabbed his glasses and started recording with it.
Yeah.
If I was someone in that party or someone, that I would be like, "Why are you obsessively grabbing his glasses to tell him to look at this?" I don't know. Felt a bit weird, but I definitely liked the monster effect. I liked the practical effects. They were realistic.
Yeah, I thought it. I thought it
was interesting.
No, I mean, I think I don't have too much to complain about this one, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, the characters are unlikable, but out of all the people in these films, they're all unlikable.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was genuinely creepy.
I like the monster.
It kind of was interesting about the whole idea that do you like me or I like you?
What was this monster about? I like the mystery of this monster.
Yeah,
what it really.
It felt like an over-exaggeration of just like maybe an interpretation of insecure,
and of like
women or people who
get obsessed over one person or something.
But I thought I thought that was kind of creepy and a cool aspect, and I liked this one. I thought it was it had this kind of fantastical element of it.
Yeah,
it's
Batwoman.
Werewolf woman
Yeah.
who grabbed him and flew away, and I thought
ripped off
although the ending wasn't
penis.
Yeah, that was funny. Although the ending wasn't conclusive, I think out of a lot of these stories, this was kind of a cool one and set a high bar that not many would be able to hop over.
Yeah.
But I thought it was alright. I thought it was alright. I thought it was like, okay, great, this is a good
Yeah.
story. I hope the West will like
It was
this.
the only one that I knew somewhat about.
Yeah, I think it's people would say it's the most iconic of the movie.
Yeah.
Just because you see
It was the only
see
good
pictures
one.
of it all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, some bits. Actually, to be honest, I don't have too many nitpicks about it. I know.
Yeah,
I know
it
one
was fine. Like, I don't really have too much complaints. I liked the effects. I liked everything. It just wasn't amazing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. That's right. Yeah, the second
Second
one
one.
is Second Honeymoon.
Honeymoon.
Should I go and
Yeah, you
talk
go
about it
first.
first? Okay. Yeah. I think they established the whole kind of like travel. I thought some of the shots of like traveling around the town, like to the western,
Yeah.
old town at night was really cool. I
Yeah.
thought the whole kind of like the kind of the old cowboy little fake town with the fortune teller was kind of cool and creepy aesthetically. I love some of the shots of the Grand
Canyon.
It wasn't a Grand Canyon, but it was
Wasn't
just
it the Grand Canyon?
no, the Grand Canyon is like a big waterfall, isn't it?
That's Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls. Oh, it is the Grand Canyon. Then.
It's the Grand Canyon.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay, then the Grand Canyon. And dumb me, I'm sorry.
Hanks.
But yeah, I thought those shots were cool. It was kind of funny and creepy when the killer, but not killer, but killer.
The killer.
Yeah, it is a killer.
Yeah, the killer.
Killer started like playing
Playing with
them,
toothbrush.
taking the money, manipulating the relationship, which I thought was kind of good because there was already kind of some heat between the relationship.
It
at the
felt
start.
like, oh, this is kind of interesting, but I don't feel like they executed it at the end.
I thought
in my opinion.
I thought the whole plot, because I think I kind of like how they said you'll be reunited with
With the loved one. I got that.
and that I kind of liked how they reunited.
Yeah.
But there was some kind of like problems with it where I was like, oh, did she always know she was going to reunite with that person? Was it planned? And also when they started leaving together after killing him, I liked that, but I was expecting just a little bit more. But it kind of just ended.
Yeah, like,
I was like, oh.
Also, like, why steal the money? Why do this whole thing just to kill him? Why not just be together and kill him earlier? Why go through all this? It felt like the twist was just like it was a good twist, and I felt like it just wasn't deserving of this good twist because a twist wasn't really felt like a
I thought the
natural
twist was
progression.
good.
Yeah, it's a good twist, but I don't feel like the movie.
I think the
that
twist was good, but I just think they could have explored it more.
Yeah,
Like I think you could totally have that twist. I just want a little bit more at the end.
That's what I'm saying. Like the twist was good in itself, but the movie didn't explain the twist. It just like it didn't feel like, oh, I understand what's happening now, and everything that happened before makes sense. It was like, oh, this is a cool twist. What's happening though? Like, why is she doing this? Why do this whole adventure? Why steal the money and lie about it? Why go on this effort?
that's why
Why tape it? Steal the money? Why tape playing with the woman? Why, like, I don't understand.
I think I know why they took the money though, is to like get out of there with money or whatever.
Yeah, but then why not just kill him and leave?
Sorry?
If they were just gonna kill him, why do the first night, steal the money, and then leave?
Because it's creepy. I don't know. Like
it felt like just for the movie they had to do something.
But that's fine with me though. Like I feel like we can't expect everything to be super smart. Like it's okay.
It doesn't have to be smart. I just felt like it was just an excuse for the movie to happen. I could just see it so much. I could just see the outline. I don't know. It just felt like a nothing thing for me.
Sure. Okay. I guess I didn't think it was as bad. I just wish they explained more stuff at the end because it kind of just ended. They kind of just like they got into the car. It's like, oh crap, that's the old lover. Yeah. Oh, she lesbian. That's fine. And they hopped in the car and they drove away. I was like, cool. Can we see just a little bit more? Maybe if you just talking about the whole plan that you're gonna do now. Yeah. Why you did it all. But you kind of just ended it.
Why? Like I was.
I know,
I
but
needed
like
that.
Everything from beforehand, I was fine. Like I'm fine with, and I'm still fine with. I just was like, oh, it would have been better if you ended it.
I'm fine with everything. I really liked that journey. I really liked the journey. I really liked the movie. But then as soon as a twist happened, that makes me question everything that happened before. Yeah. So the twist is a good twist, but it makes me question the logic.
I guess for me, it didn't diminish what happened before. I just wish there was more stuff.
For me, it just makes
to
me
make
question
the film
everything.
better and more complete.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, do you have anything else to say about it, or we can move to the next one?
No, yeah, I pretty much said everything.
Okay, cool. The next one is Tuesday the 17th. Can I say something about it, or it was freaking cheesy as hell.
Yep.
Like the dialogue felt forced.
Yeah.
None of it felt authentic. I will say, I really dig the camera the technique of like, there's a killer through the signal that's like, and is like, killing people like that. I thought that's awesome.
Yeah, it just the actual digital effects they used, I
thought that was the best
wasn't
part.
scary for me.
The digital effect, I think, was the best part of the film, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think everything else sucked as hell.
but I didn't like it.
Okay.
For me, like it wasn't. It looked like they hired a guy. It just looked like a guy just running around in like a red face mask, and it looked like a visual effect. Like to me, it felt like I could see the guy in the background just
Can you?
running around. Yeah, because like especially when he jumped out from the tree, it just felt like I could see them filming it with just a guy running around, and then putting the digital effect over. I don't know. It just made me.
I thought that was the best part of it. Is like, oh, cool. There's a guy who's through the digital, and I thought when he came out to throw the knife at the woman, that was really cool.
But just like I don't know, the effect just didn't do it for me.
Okay, well, mine's the complete opposite. Where I felt the effect was the only thing that did it for me.
Yeah. Also,
everything else was kind of cheesy.
The humorous effect of like seeing the flashes of the dead bodies. That was so funny to me. It wasn't scary
it wasn't
at all.
scary.
It wasn't scary.
I will say, I guess the boys' characters, although they
had good
were,
chemistry.
I liked them. They seemed charismatic.
Yeah,
that was the only thing good I can say.
I wrote
about
that down. I wrote some stuff down. The genre of horror and comedy just isn't my thing. I didn't love a lot of the comedy, and I didn't love like just this kind of horror. I think that's just overall. Horny characters felt like just more horror characters, but the jokes are better and the characters' chemistry is better. I really like the chemistry of the characters a lot more. I wrote I didn't love the camera effect of the glitch seeing the dead people was kind of funny looking at, and the one and on the nose threats of the dark haired woman was just like okay.
Yeah. I think it was kind of cool. I guess some of the idea about like how how is the killer getting away? Why can't they be filmed or something like that?
Yeah, there was cool concepts.
But on the same time, the main woman was kind of cheesy.
Also,
the whole dialogue was cheesy and forced. Like, oh yeah, I did some research about those killers, and like that's
also when the woman jumped from behind the tree and went like, "Hey, spider."
That was funny.
Want to see something? I know that was funny, but then later on she was like, "Let me do this thing," and she was about to do something.
Yeah.
And then she gets a knife through her face, and the guy was like, "Huh?" Like it took him like 5 seconds to go. Oh, there's a knife through your head. Right. It was like, why aren't you reacting? React to this. React to this thing. You're seeing it. And it was just like...
I guess we need to see it established.
I don't know. Just for me, it was just like... It was like delayed.
I just think this one was very cheesy.
Yeah.
The ending was very unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Don't think they explained it.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of short films where just endings aren't explained, and that's okay. Yeah. But I'm like...
It felt like they tried to do a Blair Witch... Like, kind of like, if you see this tape, I'm so sorry. And then it was just like, oh, that wasn't as good.
I don't know. I just thought this one was just like a cheesy... I mean, the name Tuesday the 17th, I think, suits it.
Yeah.
Because it's cheesy as fuck.
Yeah, I wrote like, the other monsters and the other things I didn't question as much. Because, like, I get, like, the second one, there was a killer. I get that. The first one, a really cool concept of a monster. This one, the whole time I was just thinking, like... is he part of the camera? Why is this happening? What is this? I'm confused. But why is it only affecting the camera? Can they see him? Like, what does it look like for them? If it's for us, if it looks like a glitchy guy, for them, does it look like just a guy in a suit? Because that's what it looks like.
I think they see a guy and then it's just glitched up by the camera.
Does he just make a noise? But then for them, that
and also, why was the guy who got stabbed in the throat walking around?
He just survived.
Because I thought there was a cool element by like he's invisible and he's pulling him around like a puppet.
Yeah,
I was like, that's cool. That wasn't what happened.
No.
I was like, oh. Like, I don't know. It just felt
like
cheesy and bad.
It felt like the camera was our view into this world, but if we looked at it from their view, it just, to me, it just finds it funny that it's just this guy in a red mask and in a suit just running around and teleporting.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just felt cheesy and funny.
And I just felt like also the bit where she was like, oh, I bring you all as bait so I can fight him. I guess, I don't know. I mean, I didn't hate that too much, but also at the same time, it just felt like...
underdeveloped.
There needs to be more... why? Like, who is he? Like, I need to know shit.
It just felt like I couldn't grasp on the story. I couldn't grasp
and then
on
at
anything.
the end, when that lady gets, killed, I'm like, is that meant to be significant?
Yeah, I just kept questioning everything. Like, she wasn't a sympathetic character. She was kind of, like, weird and dark and absent. Like, I didn't really care that she died. I wrote down horror... I don't really like horror that just relies on, like, this is just blood, guts, and like it isn't scary, and it just doesn't represent horror in that much of a good light, because it's just like, oh, there's nothing scary about this except for just blood. That is just not scary to me. It just wasn't
like I saw glimmers
scary.
of a really good story.
Yeah.
But that could maybe be a feature, but I just don't think it suited this form of 15 minutes, and I just think it was too cheesy.
The effects were too
like
cheesy.
there was glimmers. I'm like, okay, this is cool. It seems like she's like a final girl of like a previous story, and she's doing whatever she can to kill him. And like that's awesome, but I just don't think it's. I don't know. I just don't think it was done well for this 15 minutes.
Nope.
Anyway, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, the sick thing that happened to Emily when she was younger. Should I go first?
Yeah.
Or do you want to go first? Was I first last time?
Well, you were first last time. I'll go this time.
Sure.
I didn't write too much.
Sure.
I don't think I wrote anything for the last one. I would say that I was confused.
Okay.
Because was she going crazy? Because the whole plot of this one is that this woman thinks there's a ghost, that her apartment is haunted, and her husband is gaslighting her, going like, no, it's not. And then she's like, yes, it is.
Husband. I think it was like a boyfriend or something, maybe.
I don't know. Someone that they're in love. And then they like each other. And then he's just like, oh, like, it's probably nothing. I'll just record it and I'll help you through it. She gets a spider bite, and then she cuts open her arm and then tries to take it out. There was no blood coming out of it, really. Is she a nurse? Is this meant to be
the guy was the nurse, not...
Yeah, but, like, why did she just do it?
Because she felt something itchy, and she... Like, I think it's, like, the mark of... Not the devil, but just, like, a mark on her to say she's marked, there's a baby that's going to come out of her.
Yeah, I know, but why did she cut open her arm? It felt like she was, like, going crazy.
Well, because she probably is going crazy.
Yeah, but then... But...
She probably is getting crazy. She's been haunted, and there's something maybe going on with her. And
but it felt like that was going to be the thing. But then it turns out that the boyfriend was actually the person in league with everything. It just felt like her craziness wasn't really explored because that really wasn't brought up again. Like she didn't. It felt like she was crazy for that one scene, and then for the rest of it, she felt like just normally reacting to it. If she was like completely unfazed by all this stuff now because she cut open her arm unfazed, and then she just went unfazed for the rest of it, I feel like that would have been better. But it just felt like discontinuous.
I don't agree. Like I think
I feel like
I'm
that
not
was
going to go against
unnecessary.
you because of course it's your opinion. I feel like to me that's a bit of a nitpick because I don't think that I felt that at all. Like I felt like that's fine. Like I felt like she's going crazy. She's been marked. That's her mark. She's trying to cut it out.
There's a tracker.
Nothing's happening. That's the tracker, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. So I mean, and I just feel like she's been itching at it, and he's asking her not to itch.
Very
I don't
badly.
think that was the point though.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
then
find
why
that the
have
point
it?
to me. Why? Because each of the women that he talks to gets his tracker and they gets this mark.
No, I know, but why have this scene where she's acting like this is completely normal? And maybe it was just because the other guy is a bad actor and he wasn't selling that this was meant to be something that was not meant to be happening.
Well, I think
it
just
felt
because
like such
so much
a
shit has happened to her.
It felt like such a nonchalant thing. Like
I feel like so much shit has happened to her. Like she's been like haunted constantly every single night. She's probably not getting a lot of sleep. She's I don't know. She's been like these full on apparitions, and I feel like
but then later on
she
she felt like emotions and she felt sympathetic and she felt like, oh, like I'm just so tired of this. But then in that scene, she was just like so dead on with no emotion, completely fine, cutting open her arm, digging through the layers of skin.
I was
didn't see
like,
that
as a problem. I just thought that was
it's
like
not
a cool scene.
That is a cool scene. It's not a problem. I mean, later on, it felt like that wasn't the same character. It felt like why now is she doing this, and then later on she's acting completely different.
I don't see that as a
for me that was a did not continue the movie.
I don't see that as a problem. I mean, I can't argue against your opinion.
It distracted me.
I just really didn't think that was bad at all.
It just made me go like, oh, is it
going
gonna be like she's gonna be crazy for the rest of this thing? But then she wasn't.
See, I didn't expect too much because I know it's a short 15-minute thing, and I just didn't.
I felt like there's gonna be a through line though, because I felt like that was establishing she was going to be crazy or feel like she was going to have some sense of that, but in the rest of the short movie, she didn't.
Okay, sure.
She felt like how she was acting before that scene. I felt like that scene had no impact. That scene was
I
just
don't
there.
see how that scene is so important. But to you, it does.
Yeah,
so.
to me, that scene was a pivotal character moment for her because she was acting different to how she was before, and it was establishing that she is now going through something because she's not reacting to cutting open her own arm. That seems very important, and it felt very nonchalant the way she was doing it. So I thought the rest of the movie she was going to be acting weird and strange, but then it just went back to how she was before. So that, I don't know why that just stuck in my head. That felt weird.
Sure.
I don't
Okay. Anything else you want to say about it, or should I?
know you can talk.
Okay. Well, I think that I think this film was kind of I found it kind of scary and funny. There was like one little jump scare at the start when she thought she was starting to get haunted.
Yeah.
And and there's kind of like baby ran behind her, and I got startled and that bit like scared me and made me laugh at the same time. And I think that was really.
I was scared at the beginning because I was like, "What is that?" And then when it started running, I was laughing. It was hilarious. It was not funny, scary to me at all.
Sure. I mean, I thought it was still kind of like, like I thought it was so shocking and kind of scared me. I think what I really enjoy about this story is that it does feel complete compared to the other ones. It felt like there is kind of an effective twist at the end that each woman is getting marked. He's part of it. He's like the main guy. He's finding a different woman, saying, "Oh, I'm committed to you," and leading them in.
They said they've known each other since high school.
Sorry.
So they must have been together for a long time then.
Sure, but I know that he just at the end end of the film it showed us another woman, and it's like, oh, that's.
How many times would he have done that if they've known each other since high school and she's a student in college?
Well, I don't see it. I guess I wasn't paying too much attention to that really. I just thought. I thought the continue on was kind of cool. It was ambiguous. Not everything was explained, but at the same time, I'm not expecting everything to be explained because this is a 15-minute film, and I think they explained enough. Like the stuff that I felt like wasn't explained, didn't desperately need to be explained. Unlike other films, which, like for example, Tuesday the 17th, the whole concept of the killer not being shown. To the camera, I feel like that. Okay, if you're drawing so much attention, that needs to be explained, and I guess. You know what? I do understand what you mean by like, oh, what happened with her arm? I guess that should be explained. Yeah,
I felt like I just needed more.
I thought it was just like a mark about, oh, she's about to give birth and whatever.
No,
I just thought it was a complete story. I'm not sure why I like it too much. It didn't do too much anything different. Yeah, go.
Why was he doing it? Why? Who were the ghost children? Why did she birth a baby out of her?
I guess we just needed to not. None of the films have proper explanations.
I know. But birthing a baby out of your back, that's a bit bonkers. So I don't know. That made me go like, what? And then ended. I don't need answers. There was one. That is my bigger problem. I'd rather get answers to the Tuesday the 17th one. But I don't know. I was just like, what? But anyway, I don't know. I just also this one felt scripted to me. This one felt like, especially because the guy actor didn't do very well. I did not enjoy him as an actor. I feel like she carried most of it, even though she wasn't amazing herself. I felt like the scare scenes were very humorous and not very done well. I felt like the it wasn't very useful, and like how she was trying to show him, like it felt like she was acting weird. She was like, "Oh, I don't want to look, so you look," and it was just like, "Oh, okay." So she like flashed the camera, but I couldn't see anything. But then, like, it was very badly framed. So I was like, I don't know. There's nothing for me to see to get scared at. And then there was something, and then when she turned, and there were two children behind her, I was like, oh, this is scary. And then it did this really cheesy like zoom flash to white like iMovie effect. I was like, oh, and then that wasn't scary. And then the practical effect when they cut open her back and took the baby out, that was a really good effect. It's really good. I enjoyed that. That was pretty much the only thing I enjoyed was the practical effect.
Yeah.
I don't know. This one was right.
I guess.
I did love, for some reason at the end, I felt so bad for her.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no. She was like, oh, she just cares about this person. He's just using her, and like she's
been called a schizophrenic.
She's been called schizophrenic. She's being gaslit. She's being abused. I was like, oh no. I felt so bad. I
felt for her as well.
I felt so bad for her, and then. Like, for some reason, at the end, I felt really emotionally attached to her. And she was like, oh, I just want you to be happy. You don't deserve to be with me. You need to I was like, oh, no. I was like, then suddenly it ended. I was like, no. Like, that was the only one, which ended. I was like, no. I really felt emotionally attached to that one person in that one scene. Because I really felt bad for her. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was, compared to most of the films... Oh, I felt like it had more of a complete story. Like, a lot of these films, I felt like just ends on death.
Yeah.
And this one didn't end just on death.
Still horny, though. Not as horny.
Yeah.
But still horny.
Not as horny. But, yeah, I don't know. Still, yeah. Anyway, that was that one. And I think we only have one more, which is 10/31/98. This one is...
Radio Silence.
Yeah, this is Radio Silence?
Yeah.
Which one did Ty West do?
Ty West did the
second
one.
Honeymoon.
The second honeymoon.
Second honeymoon. Yeah. Okay. So Radio Silence. This one I'll go.
Yeah.
I thought the characters were likable.
Yeah.
And they had alright rapport together.
Mm-hmm.
It's set on Halloween. I always like stuff that's set on Halloween. The effects when they were running around the satanic house. Was cool.
Well, good.
With the hands coming out, I was like, "Whoa, that's epic!" And I think it was the whole kind of satanic scene and them going ooh with them was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And I thought, I mean, this one's an enjoyable one. It still felt a bit simple to start with.
I felt like it did the best with the concept, found footage, but it didn't feel like it relied on the found footage. It was just like the camera's there, explore people running in panic. It felt like it did the best in the 15 minutes,
Yeah.
Felt like there was no ambiguous or like questionable thing. It was like they're going to a party, they go to the wrong house, shit's haunted. Satan house, get out. They felt like in 15 minutes you can do that story.
Sure.
You can do this in 15 minutes.
And it worked. Yeah. A lot of it, I mean, my enjoyment of it was hindered by all the other films kind of dragging me and going, but on the same time, that's okay. I thought it was cool. My negatives with it is I was kind of confused by, like, I saw the woman in white to start off with, like at the very beginning we see her in the house, like behind someone who has the camera in the mirror. I thought, oh, okay, cool. I thought that was just like a ghost of the house. And then when we see a woman of white upstairs, I thought that's a completely different character, and I probably was still a completely different character. And when they saved her from all the satanic people after they got attacked, I was expecting her to be like, oh, okay, she's normal, and I thought she was normal, and I still thought she was normal. Like, even when she was like dragged outside the car, she was still screaming, and then we see her kind of like act outside, evil, and I was like, oh, that's a little bit inconsistent for me because I felt like they are two different people, but I guess they're the same person. I knew she was
evil the whole time,
and but I didn't feel like
I know what you mean.
I don't know, but even if she was evil the whole time, it didn't feel that effective to me because I felt like they were completely two different characters. And
it felt like...
I felt like she wasn't evil, but I felt like she was
possessed? Was it a ghost? Are they two different entities? Yeah, I get you.
But that's okay. Yeah. The ending with the train hitting them...
It was teased at the beginning.
So I guess it was okay.
Yeah, also a horrible way to die.
I would have liked a more, smart ending from these films, but I guess I shouldn't, expect that. It was still alright. I think it was fun. The effects were cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't...
This one did the best with the format.
Sure. I mean, it wasn't the most completely interesting story ever, but I think there was little tidbits in it, like a satanic cult doing shit that kind of made it cool. What do you have anything else to say about it?
No, I feel like this one I have the least bad to say because it was generally like, this is good. It's fun. It's over. It felt like it started, it went through some creepy stuff, and then it ended. Did what it did, and it did what it had to do. Nothing I have too many questions about. Sure, the girl is a bit weird, but it felt like it did the best with the story because the characters weren't involved. It felt like they stumbled in a situation they didn't mean to go in, and then I don't know why he was recording with a nanny cam in a monkey suit. I don't know why, but they need a reason for it to be filmed. Mm-hmm. And it just felt like that was the most consistent thing.
Sure. All right, let's get to the bit where we rank these, and we'll try to do this really fast
Yeah.
because this may be a long podcast.
Yeah.
At last place, do we have a consensus? I'm gonna look through.
I would say maybe. I can't remember how. I can't remember.
I think my least favorite will have to be. Oh, actually, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I need a name of all of them.
Here's the thing. I don't like Tuesday the 17th at all.
Yeah.
But there's some glimmers of it that were interesting compared to Tape 56, which is just basic.
Yeah. That one is. Yeah.
Can we say the worst is Tape 56?
Yeah, because it's not really its own horror thing.
It's not really a story. It's just kind of the in between.
That's the worst one.
So at 6th place is Tape 56.
Yay.
Okay, at 5th place, do you want to say Tuesday the 17th? I think we both have to come to a consensus with
I don't know.
ranking.
I feel like the bad acting and bad effects of the sick thing that happened to Emily was really bad, but the ending in some parts were really good. But Tuesday the 17th started off good and then just threw in the towel.
I thought Tuesday the 17th started off really bad. Like
No, I felt like it started off like these characters kind of have a like
I was
like literally in the car. That's it. Literally that car scene.
But then
like,
it just became
But then
cheesy.
it became bad. Yeah, I know.
And the effects just wasn't scary.
No, that's what I mean. Like, it started off with
I
them in the
know.
car. That's what I liked. And then as soon as they get out of the car, I hated it.
Sure.
So,
I think Tuesday the
Tuesday
17th is
sure.
worse.
Let's do Tuesday the 17th.
Because I just felt like, that's
Yeah.
really cheesy and okay, so 4th place, you want to say Emily, do you?
I want to say Emily.
I actually dug that one more than Second Honeymoon. Because
Actually, yeah, I can
Because
see
Second
that.
Honeymoon
Felt like nothing happened, really.
was cool, and I liked some of the locations,
Yeah.
and it had a cool little vibe to it.
Yeah.
But I felt like Emily had more of a kind of story to it.
Yeah, even though I just really did not like the boyfriend character. I don't feel like he was a good actor. I did not like how it was shot and filmed.
I can maybe make a concession.
I can.
Let's make Emily.
No.
the
We can do
4th.
what you said because I feel like, as much as I didn't like Emily, the second one just was disappointing because nothing really happened.
But on the same time, I like the chemistry between the characters better.
Yeah.
I like the locations a lot more. There was a
Yeah.
vibe made that I kind of dug.
Yeah.
And I didn't hate what happened
Yeah,
there.
it
I
felt
just
like
wish there was more.
But the Emily, I hated more what was going on in
Okay.
that one.
Although I like Emily, I'll say that's our 4th.
Yeah.
Okay. Then our 5th is Second Honeymoon.
Second honeymoon.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
like the story was harmless, but it does make me go like, oh god, I wish there could be
Wish
more.
there was more. Yeah.
Okay, so we come to our top 2. I think is Second
Yeah.
Honeymoon, 3rd. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's better? Is it gonna be Amateur Night or 10/31/98? I think for
Amateur
second,
Night. Okay, let's
Sure,
talk
yeah,
about
go.
it. Amateur Night. It had a good start, good concept. Like it was like it had some crazy scenes and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Did not love the characters at all. I felt like the main character made some dumb decisions. But I really liked the monster.
The monster's really
Yeah.
iconic and cool.
It's completely different. It's like I hated the characters in Amateur Night. I liked the characters in the last one. I loved the monster in the other one. The monster in this one was boring and confusing. I really.
Here's the thing. I think I enjoyed maybe Amateur Night more than 10. What is it? 10/31/98 because it was iconic. It looked really cool.
Yeah,
It was
I agree with that.
batshit crazy. But 10/31/98, which is the last tape,
Felt like
although
very
it's a bit
standard.
basic, it was kind of cool, and the
Yeah,
characters were
I would
awesome.
say-
Effects.
I would say maybe I'd like the last one more if it wasn't last, because I was so drained from the other
Yeah.
ones. I was like, is this gonna be over yet? But then I kind of went, oh shit, I'm liking this.
Yeah.
I don't
know what to do.
like. There are parts of Amateur Night where I really like, but there are parts that I'm just like, I do not care.
Yeah, the characters just assholes.
Characters sucked. I did not like some decisions they made. I just felt like it kind of just not pandered, but wasted time a bit. I just felt a bit. I don't.
Like I think I like.
The effects. I feel like there were more highlights in Amateur Night. Maybe.
Yeah, but then
But then it kind
But then I feel like 10/31/98 or whatever
effects
was a
and had
better
quick
story.
Ooh.
This is hard.
Ooh.
This is hard.
Ooh.
I just felt drained. Yeah, I felt drained by the end of it. Although it might have been a good story.
Well, someone's penis did get taken off in the first one.
I know, and that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it also just felt kind of.
Yeah. There was a vampire band.
Yeah.
The other ones had hands coming out of walls, and the cool effect with the door when it was like.
And
so
it had
cool.
people going.
and had people
flying away. I mean,
flying away.
But then even then, it just felt kind of like
standard and fine.
All right. Do you want to put Amateur Night at number 1 then, or do you want to put that at number 2?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Do you want me to make the decision?
Yeah.
I'm okay. I think I'm gonna put Amateur Night at number 1.
Yeah, sure. I feel like that was the most standout one.
Yeah, she was iconic. She was the moment. She was the queen.
She was the queen.
She was the moment, honey. And she ripped off dicks.
She ripped off dicks and balls.
And ball sacks. So okay, Amateur Night number 1.
I really don't love any of them, but I would say that one is the best one.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
So Amateur Night number 1, and number 2 is 10/31/98. At number 3 is Second Honeymoon. At number 4 is the sixth thing that happened to Emily when she was younger. And number 5 is Tuesday the 17th. And number 6 is Tape 56. That's that.
In America, don't they have the month first, then the day?
Yeah, 10/30. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
10/31.
That's why I was like confused because it went ascending, but we usually have 31:10. Okay, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I was confused for a second.
That's that.
That's that.
What's opinion on the movie? What's our rating?
I'm so drained.
I don't want to name the ratings, but just in case this is the first time
let's
you're
just go
listening
through
to us.
Let's just go through it. Don't explain them. Just say it.
Okay, at the very bottom
Shit
is shit show. At the above that is
Book
Boss
report,
Nog out the door. It's
door.
not completely shit, but it's okay. Disappointment. We went in expecting something great, but it turned out kind of and may have some good stuff about it, but it just was
Yeah.
And then we have Hey, it's fun. You know what? Like, it was fun. It wasn't the best thing ever,
taking
but
too
you know
long.
what? We had a good time. And then above that we
Fantastically
have Fantastically Splendid, and then the best of all time, classic masterpiece. I chipped my tooth. Okay. Okay.
We're holding our mics. We don't have no tripods.
Yeah. Woo. Sorry.
I think it's late. It's late at night.
If you hear this
not
with
late.
earphones, I'm so sorry.
Yo, stop.
I'm really late. No, I'm not late. It's really late. I'm late giving birth. Anyway, what do you think? What do you want to give this?
Leo, do not lay on your bed after saying that.
Mwah. What do you want to give this?
Wait, what were they again? It was a
You
shit
know
show.
them.
Boss Nog out the door. Wait, is it Boss Nog or a book appointment first?
There was Boss Nog out the door, and then there's Book Appointment for Disappointment.
But these aren't really in order. They're just more
These
like
are in order.
categories.
I see them in order.
Yeah, I know, but
Book Appointment for Disappointment is like, it's not exactly Hey, it's fun, but you know what? No,
That's true.
No, I mean, Book Crosby. Anyway, Book Appointment for Disappointment, I see is still like an okay film, but it just wasn't what I wanted.
I would say this one is Boss Nog get out
That's
the
why,
door.
bitch, it's a Boss
It's
Nog
a
get out
ball.
the
You're
door.
gonna say that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to give it a disappointment,
but
I was bored though.
I wasn't.
I
really,
felt actual
I
boredom.
felt boredom.
It actually happened.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't like, I don't know, I was bored.
I was really bored.
I was just like,
Do people like this movie? Is this a controversial thing, or do people?
No,
like
it's
this movie?
Rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. I checked.
Okay.
But not by much. It's like 53% or something like
God,
that.
this one it sucked.
Yeah.
I really did not like my time watching this movie.
Yeah. I guess it might have been good at the time,
No excuses. Bad movie.
but I just don't. It's not. It's fine.
This is the first time we've reviewed a movie that was like bad.
What do you mean? We've seen many bad movies.
No, I reviewed.
Did we give Truth or Dare a bad?
Oh, I forgot. We didn't release that one though.
Yeah, we did. Pretty sure we did.
No, we didn't.
That was one of our first ones.
We didn't record it on a podcast though, didn't we?
Yeah,
We recorded it.
Recorded it.
Yeah, we didn't actually review it.
I'm pretty sure we reviewed
Did
it.
we?
Yeah.
Bro, I can't remember. That was 2 years ago.
But even then, I think we gave it a hey, it's fun. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like we've been very light on movies.
Yeah, this one.
This one sucked.
I didn't want to hate this one. This is a movie I was
Maybe
genuinely
I'm-
excited. I spent money on it.
Yeah, we never released an episode on Truth or Dare.
Oh, we never did?
Yeah.
What do you mean? That was like our thing.
We recorded that one, but we didn't record it on the podcast thing.
I remember distinctively.
Yeah, we recorded, but we never released it.
release the cut of the truth and the dares.
I feel like we're just so drained.
Anyway,
from this movie.
I don't want to waste too much of your time. If you're still listening, God bless you. You are the moment. You are a queen. I love you. But time to come to our trivia.
You know what? Fuck it. I hate this movie. No, joking.
No.
It's fine.
It's okay.
It's
so
bad.
last time, in the last one, we asked you a question. Do you remember what it was? I'll remind you the question I asked you. Do you remember it? I'm trying to find it right now. I'm still in time. Okay, which of these movies does not have a Ty West directing credit? Is it You're Next, VHS, The House of the Devil, or The ABCs of Death? Have you guessed?
Yes.
What do you think?
Well, I know.
Oh, I told you. Right, yeah. All right, if you've guessed at home, the one that doesn't relate to Ty West is You're Next.
Even though Your Next is directed by the person who directed one of the VHS movies.
Yeah, there you go. It's a connection.
Which one did they direct? Please don't tell me it's like a
Was-
really bad one.
I don't know.
Can you give me the
You directed.
give me the DVD?
It doesn't say on it.
It does.
Do you want to pause this?
No. Continue.
Oh, okay. I don't think they want to hear this.
Fine, I'll pause it. The main one, the tape 56.
Yeah, take 56.
Okay, that one was fine.
That one, it was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
Wasn't that good?
Yeah.
But anyway, that was the question. And now we have the new question. Oh, get excited. On the topic of successful found footage films, my question for you this episode is, which of these found footage movies is the king of the box office? So I'm going to name 4. They're not the actual king of the entire box office.
Found
Which of
footage.
these
I don't know this.
which of these 4 made the most money?
Mhm.
Like one of them made more money than the rest of them. Which one is it? Is it A, Paranormal Activity, B, The Blair Witch Project, C, Cloverfield, the OG, or D, Unfriended? Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Get that answer. Go. Yeah.
Don't look it up.
Don't-
Guess first.
I mean, you kind of.
Guess first.
Yeah, I guess first. Freddie, guess first. I think you're like our only listener. Who's like, no. I mean, no, there probably is more listeners. We love you. We need to advertise. Anyway, that's a separate issue. Yeah, that's that. Thank you. We're tired.
We're tired. This is a bad movie.
We're tired. You're sexy. We'll see you another time. Bye.